Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dave Crouch. This is the Public Affairs Roundtable, and it's brought to you each month on the last Friday of each month by Williamson Inc., also known as the Williamson Chamber, for those of us that kind of like to know what a chamber is. And we appreciate you being with us this morning. We've got some special guests, and this morning our spotlight is going to be on our Columbia State Community College that we're so proud of. And our guests are Dr. Janet Smith, the president of Columbia State.
Good morning.
Good morning. Dr. Shauna Jackson, and I purposely misspelled your name on my notes here so I'd pronounce it right, Shauna.
Thank you.
And you're the associate vice president, and what do you call yourself with regard to the Williamson campus?
The Chief Operating Officer.
She's the boss on the Williamson campus. And L.K. Browning is the Workforce and Economic Development Director. And do you work just Williamson, or do you work Columbia
Five
statewide?
Campuses, all 9 counties and all 5 campuses.
Great. Okay, good. Dr. Smith, how long have you been at Columbia State now?
Come February, it'll be 10 years.
10 years. A lot has happened in your tenure, and it's been a fast 10 years. I'm sure it has been for me in my life, and with all you've had going on, it's probably flown by. But
It doesn't seem like 10 years. It's just been very fast. Been very good.
Right.
Great people to work with.
Tell us a little bit about Shauna Jackson, Dr. Shauna Jackson, and.
I've been at Columbia State now I'm going into my 8th year in January, and had the awesome opportunity to start at our former campus and be a part of the development of our new campus.
No. Don't push it. Just pull it closer to you.
I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
As I was saying, I joined Columbia State in 2010, coming from Volunteer State Community College, and found Columbia State just to be a fabulous, awesome community college. They're just doing such great things, and having the opportunity to start at the former campus and be a part of the development of what we're doing now, it's just been an incredible experience.
Awesome. Okay, tell us a little bit about you and how you arrived at Columbia State and how long you've been there.
I will be happy to do that. I've been at Columbia State now about 14, 15 months, so not long, but absolutely thrilled to be here. And I came to Columbia State. I had the benefit of working on the development committee to help find land for the new campus back in 2008, 2009, and became quite acquainted with the college at that point. And I remember telling Dr. Smith several years ago, someday I would absolutely love to work for Columbia State Community College. I love the mission. It's very important, and the opportunity to work in southern Middle Tennessee was very appealing, so I'm tickled to be here.
That's great. That's good. Dr. Smith, a lot has happened here in Williamson County in the last 3-4 years.
A lot of good things.
A lot of good things. Enrollment's up a little bit.
Just a tad.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm going to let Shauna tell you what the numbers are, because she's worked very hard to get those numbers, so I think she ought to have that opportunity to say what they are.
Tell us all about that.
Thank you. I will start by saying the college the last 2 years has grown an incredible amount. I think we grew about 3.5 last year, but we grew 4.9% overall this year. And the Williamson campus, my goodness, double digits. The first fall that we moved into the new campus, we were up 35% head count enrollment. And so this fall, 2017, we're up 14%. So we added almost 300 students from the year before, which was a record enrollment for us.
That's awesome now.
And I would add that, that overall enrollment, we grew this year, Columbia State did, on every one of its campuses. So I think that speaks to the overall health of the college.
How does that compare to Columbia, or to community colleges nationwide or statewide? How are they doing?
Statewide, we were one of the top enrollments. We had a couple of colleges whose enrollment growth was a little bit larger than ours, one being Montlow. Smyrna is their growth area, and they've been over there several years, so are really experiencing the growth now. We anticipate that same level of growth continuing in Franklin, marking that same kind of track. So overall, we are one of the leaders in enrollment in the state of Tennessee. And nationwide, enrollment in community colleges is not as strong as it was at one time, much lower.
That's what I was thinking. So why has it been so good the last couple of years?
Well, I think there's several reasons. One is, and I would always say, the quality of Columbia State. The faculty and staff that we have are top-notch. They provide excellent instruction. We have small classes. Students get hands-on care. And I think that is being seen more and more. The Tennessee Promise is also an impact. That promise has brought students to our doors who normally may have selected the university first. And now they're finding that the decision to come to community college is the best decision they could have made. And here in Franklin, obviously, the facility, the campus, the new campus, has shown what a community college really is and can be in a community, both as a partner in working, whether it's in workforce or with the chamber, or providing excellent education for students who want a career or who want to go into the university. So I think it's all of those things combined that have created that growth.
Dr. Jackson, for those of us who only hear this occasionally and can't keep all the details straight, tell us about Tennessee Promise and how that affects a kid.
Absolutely. So Tennessee Promise, for those that aren't familiar, our governor has certainly put his money where, or our money where his mouth is, and has been committed to higher education and providing access to Tennesseans. And so I commend him for his hard work in getting that done. So the Tennessee Promise is really for our traditional age students that are high school seniors that graduate, whether they're public school or homeschool, and they have an opportunity to go to the community college or our Tennessee Colleges of Applied Technology or universities that have associate degree programs, tuition and mandatory fee free for 5 semesters. So that is just a program that nationally has been recognized, and other states are starting to model. And not only Tennessee Promise, if I may, we now have Tennessee Reconnect. So this program, Tennessee Promise, was first implemented fall of 2015. So we've had our first graduating class of Tennessee Promise students, and now we are actively preparing for Tennessee Reconnect, and that program's for the adults. There has been money put aside.
Why'd you look at me there?
Well, now it's for everyone. Tennessee Reconnect, again, is another commitment from the governor and from the state for individuals in Tennessee who do not have an associate's or a bachelor's degree. They can't have actually obtained a degree. You could have some college, you could have no college, but the program right now, all the details are being worked out, but as we understand it, you will be able to come back to the community college, to Columbia State, and take 6 hours tuition and mandatory fee-free for 5 years to complete your degree. And I think that's going to have a large impact on all of our counties that we serve, but right here in Williamson, where we really value the educational attainment level and understand that we're trying to really prepare our workforce. So it's a chance for people that have never gone to school to come back, people that are professionals and always wanted to get a degree and just never found the time to do it, and those that are in positions where they're either underemployed or unemployed to come back and get training. And we want to make sure, I want to make a point to say we want to align to what the labor market needs. So we're working to develop programs that we can steer students to that are going to really help our community and our workforce continue to grow.
Right.
Let me add into that. Shauna and other folks at the campus are working the curriculum so that there will be evening programs where they're designed that over a period of time they can get their degree. There will be programs also aligned during the daytime so that they can come in and see what that curriculum is and see where they can begin and where they can end. And we feel like that's a very important part. And we really want to reach out and say, folks, all your audience that's listening, if you always wanted that opportunity to go back to college, you started it or you didn't start it, this is an opportunity. The state is laying out a grant that's a last dollar scholarship that lets you get that college education. And we are working very diligently to provide a curriculum at a time that matches the needs of the folks in our community to be able to take advantage of that. So if you've been thinking about it, come see us. If you haven't been thinking about it, think about it, because it is an opportunity for yourself as a person, your own personal growth, and for your possibilities of future occupations. So we're there to help.
That's interesting and exciting. Just so I've got the details straight. But Tennessee Promise, kid can go to Columbia State for free.
Yes.
For basically 2 years.
5 semesters.
Instead of going to UT and paying $12,000, $15,000 a year.
That's correct.
So that's the difference.
Yes.
I just want to make sure I understood it right. That's what it sounded like.
And we have great transfer agreements and relationships. In fact, you mentioned UTK. We started a Rocky Top Connect Club at our campus for students that intend to go, so that they can get some of that experience while they're still at Columbia State. So I think a lot of students are taking advantage of it. And the campus is a more collegiate campus than it was at the former campus. And so I think they're enjoying their experience.
That's great. And those credits, though, will transfer to many, many colleges.
That's correct.
I'll speak from experience. Jack had a lot of dual enrollment credit, and Charlie had a lot of dual enrollment credit from Columbia State, and Auburn accepted all but one credit, and I told you I'd find out which one that was, and I forgot to. But out of 55 hours, I think he had 57 or 8 when he graduated from high school, and they accepted 55 of them. So the vast majority of those credits transfer to any university you would want to go to, and so great opportunity for our kids and for our parents to save some money and or make it possible, even in a situation particularly where it wasn't possible. Now, the future. I understand there's some construction plans being hatched for the future over at our Williamson campus.
Yeah, we don't stand still.
You've had a parking problem.
We have had a parking problem, and our folks have worked on that, and we do run a shuttle service at this time, and we want to publicly thank the City of Franklin Parks and Recreations for allowing us to use Liberty Park for our students to park because there's not enough space on campus. And in the original design of the campus, parking structures were built into the design. And we will be beginning our first parking structure. The design work is being done now, so depending upon what the weather is when we can start the moving of dirt. It will be a 2-story that can be built on up to 4 stories. It's been an interesting experience in that the state does not build parking structures. Universities can build them easy with a student fee because they've got a lot of students. It takes a little bit more for the community college, but we have been able to find the resources to start this, and so we'll still have issues for a while. We'll get that going, and that will help to resolve our issues, and then we're looking for ways to get those next 2 floors. So that's starting now. We submitted, well, many of you may know that Representative Sargent was able to obtain funding from the legislature, $500,000, I think it was, to do design work for a 4th building a couple of years back. That design work is almost complete, just a few little things to be finalized on that. The building was submitted to TBR. It's called our technology building, but it was submitted into the Board of Regents for consideration for their approval. It is number 1 on their list. It is now at THEC. We are hopeful it makes it on the THEC list to the governor, and hopeful that the governor's list, and that the legislature then funds it. And if that occurs this year, we would look to start construction on that in July. And so parking, new buildings, and then we're laying out the next building as well, trying to get that on the list or out there in front of people's eyes so they know that the 5th building will need to come along thereafter.
So you're calling it the technology building. Is it going to just be a regular classroom building, or is it going to have anything unique to it?
It will move. We will move all of our IT into that building. It will be the Jackson IT Center, which is now in the Sciences building, will move to the Technology building. It will have our networking classes and all of our computer-related classes. It'll also, we've put on art classroom and looking at graphic arts and how that ties into the whole technology issue as well. Okay. We are hopeful that we will have enough funds to have a 150-seat auditorium for community events, to bring lecturers in and other types of activities that we can engage the community on our campus.
Sounds exciting. Shauna, have you got anything to add to that?
Certainly. Because of technology, she mentioned that word, I wanted to speak a little bit about some of the new programs and some of the new things that we're working on. I see Dave Allen out there. Williamson County Schools has been an incredible partner in our journey to make sure that not only is the community college offering programs that are needed in the workforce, but we're already working with high school students to prepare them to enter that as well. And one of those things is the WIT Center at Centennial High School. We have redesigned that so that is focused on our web app development program, and so there's a pipeline of students preparing to come through that will actually, by their senior year, have their technical certificate in web app development as they graduate from high school. Some of the other things that we're working on, and it's been just an interesting group of people. Our group continues to expand, is an IT apprenticeship program that we're developing. We now have Department of Labor on board, Workforce Essentials, ECD, LK is a partner in that, to really try to build high school students to start looking towards the diversity of the field and giving them not only workforce experience or work-based experience, but building in dual credit and dual enrollment along the way.
You're getting ahead of me. So,
she said technology.
But the new building will enable a lot of these things that you just mentioned. And
let me say one other thing. Folks may say, okay, you got 3 buildings, why do you need number 4? Mm-hmm. If you use the THEC standards and how much space you need for the number of students you have and the instruction that's going on, we've already exceeded that standard. So we've got the growth, and if we want to continue to grow and provide opportunities for the citizens of the area, we need that building, and then the others as well as they come.
Absolutely. That's great. The Williamson campus is a little unique to Columbia State because you've got some things that the other campuses don't offer. They have some things that the Williamson campus doesn't offer. Tell us, Dr. Jackson, about the ones that Williamson can offer, things that our audience might not be aware of, and let's talk about those for a few minutes.
Well, thank you for that opportunity. The Williamson campus, I do want to say that the health science program that we're currently offering is nursing, which is only offered at the Columbia campus. So we are looking to add some other health science programs. Currently, we have the film crew technology program that is unique to our campus, and the commercial entertainment program that's unique to our campus. And of course, that's a result of being a border county of Davidson and all the entertainment that's happening there. Those are both technical certificates. In our film crew technology program, we hired a new program director this summer, David Smith. He's actually an MTSU graduate, but we were able to get him from Georgia, where there's a lot of film production down there. He's actually a filmmaker himself, and we just see lots of possibilities for that program. But our students that graduate are in California and Arizona and all of these great places doing good things. The one thing that I think is great about that program, it is the below the line. It is not the producer, but they are able to gain work experience while they're in the program. And we have had several students that were able to find full employment with the TV show Nashville. So it's a great opportunity for students that are really interested in that type of work.
Do they have anything that could help me with this job?
Perhaps. we might want to look at our mass comm program for maybe more related. And then the commercial entertainment has two pathways for performance or songwriting. But one of the great things about commercial entertainment is they also have a transfer program. And we're looking at MTSU. We've been working with them. They have a bachelor's degree in dance. So we want to make it an easy pathway for our students to complete their degree, use their Tennessee Promise, and go to MTSU and dance. We also have the Hospitality and Tourism Management Program, and that was created by a need that was identified in Williamson County specifically. Working with our industry partners, it just started fall of 16 and is doing well. Ellie Westman Chin was a great cheerleader and a puller together of all of our industry partners, and the chamber was involved. That has been probably the most collaborative program that I've ever participated in, putting it together. We really built a technical certificate to respond to what our industry partners said they needed.
So what do you actually learn in that program?
Really, you get a good foundation in management skills. You get exposed to the industry and the nuances, because a lot of times people think front desk or server, and that's not the whole field of hospitality and tourism.
Right.
So they get exposure to the overall diversity of the field, and then they start building their skills. It's really to accelerate them to get into the field and quickly get into management positions.
Okay. Okay. What about pharmacy tech? I saw that on one of the lists. I'm bridging over into workforce.
Sure.
They kind of cross paths with the traditional academic and the workforce development. LK is.
Yes, we do definitely cross paths.
I may be jumping around here. So.
Oh, that's quite all right. Pharmacy tech and phlebotomy, we do both of those programs to train people to.
What is that?
What is phlebotomy?
Yes.
When you go
I
to
was
the
gonna
doctor's.
Google it before I got on here. I forgot to. So.
And not only that, and I won't make you spell it, by the way, because that's a trick in itself sometimes. Phlebotomy is drawing blood. So every time someone goes to the doctor or to a clinic to have blood draw, a phlebotomist is doing that. And we train phlebotomists regularly. It's a pretty popular program, and that runs probably 3 times a year.
Okay.
And then the pharmacy tech runs usually at least 3 times a year.
Now, is that available at Williamson, or is that at
Pharmacy
Columbia?
tech has happened both at Williamson and in Columbia.
Okay.
And phlebotomy at this point lately has been in Columbia, but we could certainly do it in Franklin. We've been talking actually with Williamson Medical, because you have to have a good partner so that the students can go do their clinicals. They need to do a lot of on-site work, and Williamson Medical is interested in partnering on that.
So a pharmacy tech, pharmacists make really good money from what I hear. So a pharmacy tech can do a lot of the work that the pharmacist needs help on?
They can. It's not, sometimes it's a pathway to, they might go in and be a pharmacy tech for a while and decide, I want to be a pharmacist. And sometimes it's simply, I'm going to go be a pharmacy tech person, and that's what they do for their career.
Seems like commercial entertainment. Let's back up a bit. And film crew technology, I think I understand that field. It's behind the scenes what Creed and his crew do here and make us look good. And, really important job. But what about the commercial entertainment? What do they learn in that program, and how does that help them get a job?
The best way to describe it is they walk in at various levels of talent. And I want to be a songwriter, or I want to perform, and we take whatever level of talent they are in and enhance it and really show them how to sell and market themselves. It's almost teaching them to be their own entrepreneur, how to record your music, how to package it, how to get it out there for other people to see, how to develop a video of yourself, how to present yourself when you walk into a room. So it's really almost an individualized program. They work together, of course, and they have courses together, but that is what that program actually does. So it takes whatever level of talent you're in and helps to make you better.
And what's the degree that they receive after completing that?
Now, both that program is a technical certificate where they can just do 2 semesters and really just focus on improving their craft, but it also has a transfer program where they can start taking their general education courses and actually graduate with an associate's degree. And that's where we're looking for those pathways for them to continue on to a senior institution.
Okay. Well, I cheated and got on the website and looked at all of the academic programs that Columbia State offers. I'm not sure which ones are offered at Williamson, which ones aren't. But these look interesting. The anesthesia technology program, pending some kind of approval.
And that will actually be at Williamson.
Okay, good.
And that's a brand new program, and it's kind of like a pharmacy tech assisting a pharmacist. This person would be ready to assist in the operating room, helping to get people to sleep.
Interesting. Hopefully to wake them up as well.
Yes.
And let me add, that program we developed with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt came to us and said, we need anesthesia technologists. And so working along with them, the program should start fairly soon. We're working to obtain the lead instructor at this time. It will be one of 5 in the nation. So it's a very new program, and we are very excited about that.
Sounds very, relevant to the world these days and what's going on out in the real world. Computer information technology, that one, from what we hear through the chamber, is one of the highest demand skills there are in our community. Now, how is that being received? I presume that's offered at Williamson.
It is, and several different pathways, whether it's programming, networking, web app development, have a cybersecurity pathway. It's really a chance to just try to cover what we understand the needs are in the workplace. But that's where I was talking about the IT apprenticeship program. We've been working with a lot of new partners now that we're at the new campus, Acadia Health, Jackson, to try to have more co-op and internship opportunities for our students, because we realize it's great to have coursework, but it's even better to have work experience.
Right.
So that's a program that I see really growing at Williamson, and we're thankful to Jackson for helping to support the campus with the Jackson IT Center, because it's not Shauna Jackson Center. It certainly is Jackson. I've had people ask me that, and
right.
I thought, no, I want to give the credit to the right people. But that is one where we're working constantly with employers to try to really attract people into that field. The jobs are there, and it's helping people to understand what they can do. Because some people think programming, a lot of math, I'm not sure if I want to do that, but there's so many other aspects of IT that I think people would find interesting and have the aptitude to do if they just had more information about it. Right. So we're really working with a lot of different partners to make that happen.
Right. LK, what does LK stand for?
Well, that's on a need-to-know basis. No, actually, it's not all that interesting. It's Lisa K.
Okay, I'm just curious. Yeah. But have you found the computer information program? What are the employers telling you about their needs there, and how they would receive a student from Columbia State with a 2-year degree or whatever? How is that matching up?
Well, one of the biggest things I hear is, gosh, it's hard to staff a help desk, because we all need it, especially those at my age. I call the help desk pretty frequently. And it's one of those kind of a rites of passage type position that it's a good entry point for folks.
Right.
But it requires both that technical ability to understand what's happening and guide somebody through how to work through their problem of whether they can't sign on or whatever their issue is. It also requires that human skill and the communication skills. So what I hear from employers is, boy, we hire folks that have a degree, and sometimes they are perfectly technical. Their technical skills are terrific, but boy, they can't play well with others.
Right.
So we try to work with, we actually offer a 1-day course on early career professionalism to help people that do have that technical certificate or have that technical ability, or sometimes the 4-year, 6-year, or 8-year degree, and they came out without really having that understanding that they need to work on a team when they get in the work environment.
Right. So you're confident these students are going to find a a match out there in the work.
I'm very confident that the students that come through our information technology program are going to find a match.
Right.
That's a high demand opportunity.
Engineering systems technology. Now, and I'm not sure I'm politically correct here, so MTSU may have a foot in the door there somewhere, but the drafting, computer-aided drawing engineering program over at Centennial and at some of the other high schools, is that part of this program, or?
I believe that used to be our Advanced Integrated Industrial Technology Program that has been renamed, and President Smith might want to talk about our Fairview partnership with that program. That program actually provided at Fairview High School and at our Northfield Center in Spring Hill. And that's been a great partnership as well.
The Advanced Integrated Industrial Technology was kind of a mouthful, and it's really into the engineering technology, so we changed the name. The curriculum stayed the same. A big segment of that program is in mechatronics, and how that what is a growing need of industries today. And our faculty, actually the dean of our science and technology area, met with folks from Williamson and primarily the principal too at Fairview High School, and talked about how we might do this in the high school. And out of that has grown a CTE program where students can obtain both their high school diploma and an associate degree at the time they graduate from high school, if they start in the program at an early point, or they can complete a certificate, or they can take courses and then complete thereafter, or take some of the courses and transfer it into their work for university. So it's a wonderful program. It's a total partnership program, and we are very thankful to Williamson County Schools, particularly Fairview High School, and the energy. I mean, if you have not met the principal at Fairview High School, you need to meet her.
Julie Oyer is awesome.
She is dino, I tell you. She's dynamite. And so we're just excited about that program. It's set a model. We are now doing some of the same things in Murray County schools. So it's been a wonderful partnership.
Dr. Dave Allen, how about stepping up to the podium and kind of giving us the Williamson County Schools side of the story just for a moment. Dr. Allen is the Williamson County Career and Technical Education Director. Is that close to what they call you, Dave?
I'm the Director of Middle and High Schools, but you were close.
Okay, good.
So, well, first of all, the first thing I want to say is what's really impressive with the three people that are up here speaking this morning is that it's a can-do attitude. It doesn't matter what we bring forward, and Dr. Jackson probably knows more than anyone else that I can color outside of the lines at times. And we're never met with a no, to be honest with you. I mean, it's always, there are going to be some challenges, there are going to be some obstacles, but it's a can-do, try to fix it, try to make it happen attitude. And so the mechatronics example is a great partnership. I mean, it has taken so much to get it where it is today, but the opportunity for kids to graduate from high school with an associate's degree is somewhat unprecedented and incredible. And then we also talked about the WIT Academy and the mobile app tech certificates. The thing that I'd like to mention...
What do all those acronyms stand for?
So the information technology is the the mobile app technical certificate that we have both at Centennial and at Renaissance High School. So it's driving toward the information technology workforce needs that we have. The one thing that we haven't talked about is why we're doing this at the high school level and the partnership that's just incredibly important to us in Williamson County. If you think about it from a student perspective, when students go off, if they go off to a four-year college, the four-year is really a marathon. If you think about it, what we were doing 4 years ago may be incredibly different from what we're doing today. So to complete that degree is a marathon, and life happens. And so what we want an opportunity to do, and what Columbia State has been so gracious with, is we want to give students multiple exit ramps along the way. And so, for example, the technical certificate is usually between 18 and 24 hours. If we can equip a student in high school with a technical certificate, they're employable. They may put it in their pocket and go off to a 2-year or a 4-year, but they've got an employable credential in their pocket. Same thing with the 2-year degree. If we can equip them with the 2-year degree, they're employable right out of high school. And so completion rates at the post-secondary level are a challenge for a number of reasons. And so anything that we can do on the continuum to get kids some sort of credential, an industry certification, a technical certificate, a 2-year degree, is going to help the workforce and going to make them employable much sooner in a field that they are interested in and are good at, basically.
So 2 questions, Dave. How long have you been in this job?
In this role, this is my 4th year.
And how many kids were in the high school you principaled before you came here?
We had over 3,000 in the school but Dave, I was hoping you wouldn't remind me of that.
So Dr. Looney thought enough of these programs to bring in a guy like Dave Allen, who obviously, if you've been principal of a high school with 3,000 kids, you've got a pretty good perspective on what kids need going forward. And I think the can-do attitude may have just gone to the next level when they brought in Dave Allen at Williamson County Schools. Is that an accurate statement?
That is an accurate.
And we appreciate what
Certainly.
you're doing very much.
Thank you.
It's a really good guy, and I think the combination of Dr. Jackson on this side and Dr. Allen on that side have really accelerated the opportunities for our kids in Williamson County, and just wanted to kind of pull that out. Anything else of unusual? I mean, I know you can take English and math and all those wonderful, exciting, basic core courses that you will have to take if you want a 4-year degree. But what else? LK, let's let you talk about your area just a minute and the opportunities that are springing up out of the workforce.
Okay, certainly.
Besides the ones we've already covered.
Okay, happy to do that. So my side of the equation is more of the non-academic. So I'm working with business and industry, out listening to what they need from an education and training standpoint. We can do needs assessments for them, so we can go in and actually do an electronic needs assessment to help them find out what their employees need. Then we can also come alongside their internal training departments. You know, a lot of companies have very evolved internal training departments. We can work with them in several different ways. One is we can develop some of the programming that they've identified as needed. Another is that we can do what's called train the trainer. So we might develop a program to teach call center reps about customer service, and then certify one of their internal trainers to offer that going forward. Another way that we work with them is they might have a program they've been offering for years, and it's a highly technical, they're doing a great job with it. They would like their people to receive continuing education units or CEUs for going through that training. So we work with them in that manner. And then we also just keep our ear to the ground. Our job is to listen to what business and industry tells us and determine, is that something that falls on the non-credit side of the house, which is economic and workforce development, or is that something I need to jump on the phone with Shauna Jackson or one of the other people from our other 4 campuses and say, hey, I'm hearing this, and get them plugged into the right people to have that dialogue to determine what we need academic program-wise.
Give us an example of one of your employers that you worked with, and what came out of the relationship, and what it takes for an employer to be able to do something that you can help them with.
Well, one example, I guess, General Motors is a good long-standing example. They have a learning center, and every 90 days they ask their employees what they want, what they need. Mm-hmm. So we'll offer things like Excel or Microsoft Word, PowerPoint. Sometimes it's mechanical comprehension. It just depends on what they're saying that they need. We developed recently a social media class based on their requests for that.
So how big a company do you have to be to come to Columbia State and say, I need help?
We recently did a project for a startup company. This is one of the things we do. We come alongside local economic development agencies and boards and help recruit business into an area. So recently, like sometime in the middle of last year, a new service opened up in Northfield, workforce development, that area. I don't know if you're familiar with Northfield. If you haven't been there, you should go because it's fabulous. A new company started up there, and we developed their, what they called Agent One training program. So it was to teach people how to answer the phone, how to provide the type of service that was needed. They're answering the phone for doctors' offices that need to either go to lunch or that's just call overflow, for veterinarian offices, for HVAC companies, that kind of thing. So we developed a program. They had 6 employees at startup. So GM has considerably more than 6, but this startup had 6 employees.
So from 6 to 6 million,
we can handle it.
You can design a program and help them get their employees trained for whatever it is they need.
Exactly. We find that if we just listen, we'll find out if there's a way we can help them.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Couldn't have a show about Columbia State without talking a little more about dual enrollment. Does that surprise you?
Doesn't surprise me at all.
I may be the biggest fan of dual enrollment in the state, but some people still hadn't heard about it. I mean, the friends of my kids still look at me and say, I don't really think they can do that. Now, they don't say that, but they think I'm lying when I say you can go to Columbia State and take your college English courses, you can take a lot of your math courses, you can take your humanities courses, and then not have to take them when you get to college. So who wants to talk about the latest and greatest dual enrollment opportunities? Dr. Jackson.
I'd be more than happy to. Just again, for folks that aren't familiar, dual enrollment is a way for high school students to actually enroll in college courses. So a student fills out an application for Columbia State. They actually register for courses.
What age student?
Well, really juniors and seniors.
Okay.
That's pretty much the target group. So it starts as early as their junior year, where they enroll in the college course. And the beauty of dual enrollment, that they're not only getting college credit, but high school credit as well. So senior English, instead of taking senior English, they're taking English Composition 1 in the fall and English Composition 2 in the spring, earning 6 credit hours of college credit, completing their senior English requirement, and being able to either come to us or transfer those 6 hours to a university and have their freshman English complete. So dual enrollment is an incredible program. Your son certainly was probably an outlier with the amount of dual enrollment, but traditionally 12 credit hours because of the dual enrollment grant that is available to help with the cost of it, because they are enrolling in a college course and so there is tuition and fees to pay, is what you probably most likely see students coming out with, anywhere from 3 to 12 credit hours. They certainly can do more. A lot of our partnerships, again, with Williamson County Schools, we've talked about the WIT Center and Fairview, but we also are trying to start Robbie Reed at Centennial High School, an opportunity for students to get their business technical certificate using a combination of dual credit, AP exam, CLEP exam, and then dual enrollment, to try to make all of the offerings that are available out there for students, for them to be able to take advantage of it and actually come out with a credential. So dual enrollment, literally any course that they are eligible to take, they can.
It's an amazing program. Okay.
So Dave, if you don't mind, I'll quiz a little bit, because I have boys that are in the 6th grade and 7th grade, so I care about this quite a bit right now. I have my ear to the ground on it, and one of them asked me the other day, and I didn't know. So where do they do that? If they say the English composition example, can a child from any high school do that? And then does that mean they come over to campus to take their English class, or are they taking their English class at high school?
It's almost by school. There are several schools where we have what we call embedded dual enrollment, where we're actually offering the course at the high school during the high school day. But we also have schools that students come to us and come to our campus, whether it's a day class or an evening class or a weekend class or an online class. So it's really just a combination depending on the school and their needs. If they have enough students to offer a full course there, we try our best to do that. But if they're just one or two students wanting to take pre-calculus, you know, and they only have two, then they would come to us to take the course.
That makes perfect sense.
But we just work with the high schools.
Just a couple inside baseball thoughts about dual enrollment. My boys, both of them, instead of taking 5-day-a-week English class at school for their junior English, took English Composition 1 and English Composition 2, but they took the Wednesday evening. I think it's a 4-hour, one night a week. So in other words, they're just going to English class one night a week for 4 hours instead of going all week long at school. They actually get out of school early at the high school. Now, the principals don't like us to brag about that, but they like the flexibility too, that they got out a little early from their high school day and took those classes at Columbia State at night. And we've only found one downside. There's lots of upsides for dual enrollment. Charlie, though, was just getting into college life, his second year at Mississippi State, and had joined a fraternity and so forth. And since he had 30 credit hours when he graduated from high school, he was hitting in his second year at Mississippi State, he was hitting the junior level animal science courses. And Charlie loves the animals, but he's a little shaky on the science part of it. And he was also asked to chair the tailgate committee for his fraternity that fall and during football season. And so the junior level courses, just in case you don't know, are what we used to call the weed out courses, and they are the really hard ones. So he hit those a little earlier than the other kids he was running with, and so you need to adjust for that. But it's a great program. Saves mom and dad a lot of money, and a kid can actually go to college and finish in 3 years instead of 2. Just a lot of benefits, and I'm a big fan.
Another benefit is it gives the student a taste of college. Sometimes college can be very scary, and so in their high school or coming on the campus for the one class, lets them see that it's something they can do. Right. And so it promotes success for the student.
And kind of along the same line, but they don't actually have to take all those classes in a classroom. There are online courses through the Board of Regents.
As well as we have online or direct with the campus.
Right. So if your schedule for whatever reason doesn't match up with the classroom, there are online opportunities that are available that can make it available when they need to. Just one other, we're moving on. Just take a quick minute. I'm going to cover one other subject, and then if the audience has a question or two they'd like to ask, we'll open it up. So be lining up at the podium if you want to ask any questions. The Columbia State Foundation, Dr. Smith, tell us a little bit about that and what it does for the college and how that can...
The foundation is a 501c3 organization. It is made up of board members from all of our counties. We have 4 individuals from Franklin who serve on the board itself. The purpose of the foundation is to raise funds to enhance opportunities for the students at Columbia State. They do that through raising funds for scholarships, raising funds for helping programs purchase equipment, keep equipment up to date with some of the latest equipment if our state funding is not there to support it. They do that through special programs. bringing entertainers to campus, lecturers to campus, and supporting those type programs. Recently, they're supporting a research project that one of our faculty, one of our biology faculty members is involved in, and that's where it's a research class for students. It's called undergraduate research. It's not research of what one normally might think, but in this particular class they are looking at the environment, if I remember correctly, and studying that and different effects. So the foundation does many things. As many of you may recall, in the construction of the campus here, we were out raising funds because the state required that we had to come up with a 10% match to obtain the funds from the state. That flows through our foundation, and our foundation board is active in that. So it does many things, but the main things it does is raise friends and funds. So we encourage those that are out in the audience listening to think about the foundation. One of the things to me that is so important in what that foundation does is it changes lives. It gives opportunities to folks who may not have it otherwise. Even with the Tennessee Promise, even with the Adult Reconnect, there are still needs that students have to be able to obtain that education. And the foundation works to help that occur. And so there are many opportunities then to change somebody's life. And I can't say anything that is any more important, I think, than helping someone become what they want to be, making a difference in someone's life. So we invite folks to be a part of that foundation, be a part of making a difference, because that's what Columbia State does. That's what the people who have invested in Columbia State are doing. That's what's occurring in your community, making lives better. And so that's the foundation, friends and funds, and two good things that let the college just grow and be stronger in serving your community.
Dr. Jackson, is there anything specific to the Williamson campus that the foundation could enable that you would like to see happen?
There's just so many needs, and I think that we've already been doing a good job to support that. Certainly, the foundation is working on opportunities to support our future growth, what we know is happening there. Right. There will be opportunities as we're looking to develop programs that we're going to need resources to start those programs, and I think that's where the foundation will step in and help us do that.
Right.
We have currently what's a campus development fund that is for Williamson County. And that's a fund that we're encouraging individuals to give to, because that fund allows us to have those dollars there that when we start a new program to help with that startup, it allows us to have funds there to provide certain scholarships for students and other needs that the campus has. So that is in place currently. We are receiving gifts that go into that, and we're very thankful for all of what the community has given to the college.
Great. Okay. Any questions? Identify yourself, sir. And
Good morning. Great information. Scott Speedy, so a father of three who are 2, 4, and 7 years away from making the college decision. Two questions. One, any plans on on-campus housing? And two, what would you say is the mix of students who get their associates and go directly into the workforce as opposed to going on to four-year universities? And maybe what are the top 3 or 4 universities you see your students attending?
All right, regarding on-campus housing, the state of Tennessee does not allow community colleges to have on-campus housing, so we do not see dormitories anywhere in our future at this time. In terms of top universities, Middle Tennessee is probably where most of our students go. Then after that, it goes out to Austin Peay, Tennessee Tech. Tennessee Tech may be second, then Austin Peay, UT, and TSU principals. But we also have students who go to Vanderbilt, Belmont, and Lipscomb, and it would be negligent if I didn't say that Belmont and Lipscomb are very attuned to what we're doing here in Franklin and are working with us on scholarship programs. I'll let you talk about the business one if you would like.
Yes, just really quickly. We are just a few details away from finalizing a 2+2 agreement with Belmont University, where our business students will be admitted to the Jack C. Massey School of Business if they have a certain GPA, and they are hoping to provide scholarships for those students. There are Tennessee transfer pathways out there where schools have already at the 4 years said this is what you need to take at the community college, and all those agreements are in place with many schools. Belmont had not participated in that. So we are one of the first community colleges that they're working with in order to create pathways for our students to go directly to Belmont, and being confident in what they're taking with us will transfer so that they can be a junior.
Now, Vanderbilt University is our partner on this show, and Lynn Maddox is here with us this morning. Anything going on between Columbia State and Vanderbilt? Or there, I know you've got one of the
anesthesia technology. Vanderbilt works very closely with Columbia State in terms of our nursing program and our other allied health programs. Some of their physicians serve in our EMT in terms of sponsorship, or the lead physician behind those programs. With the relationship for credit programs and transfer that, our programs transfer very well to Vanderbilt, and we're very pleased with that. And I'm an old Vandy grad, so yay for us.
Lynn, do you have anything to add to that?
I did, if I can, address the conversation about transfer versus career entry. Overall, I would still say that our students at the Williamson campus are heavy transfer. I don't have the percentage of that, but most of those students are coming to us with the intent to transfer. We are seeing the demographics change at Williamson. We're becoming a much more diverse campus, not just in terms of race. Just this fall 2017 class, overall Columbia State had 41% male. We have 49% male on our campus. So we're seeing more and more, and it's really great. And I think some of them may be choosing to go into some of the career entry programs. So we're going to see a shift in demographics at Williamson.
If I can get one thing in, I know that time is hitting, so I've got to say this. Columbia State has been recently called and told that by the Aspen Institute, which is a national institute. Some may recall in 2017 we were one of the top 150 community colleges. In 2019 we are one of the top 150 community colleges in our nation, and that is something we're extremely proud of, and we think that you should be as well.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
Miss Nancy, 30
Good
seconds.
morning, Nancy Conway, Williamson Inc. I just want to say thank you, Columbia State, for making the greatest difference in Williamson County, both in the past, today, and your plans for the future, because not everyone realizes their contribution, and I thank you.
Well, thank you, Nancy, for your contribution. That lady has been a Columbia State supporter and worked very hard with us to provide opportunities in this community for years and years and years. One of the first. So thank you, Nancy.
She helped birth the Williamson
I
campus,
believe she did as well.
Absolutely did.
That's great. Just thank you all for being with us. This is our last program of 2017. We will not be here in November, December, but look forward to being back end of January with our state representative and state senator. I just want to, I've got a list. I want to make sure I try not to miss anybody, but thank Creed Henderson and his crew for making us look good on Channel 3. Just does a great job with the production of this show. And Creed, we appreciate you and Heather and the rest of your crew. Thank you to Mayor Rogers Anderson and his office for providing the facility, making sure we are able to have the facility here. To Vanderbilt University for helping fund some of the associated cost of the program. And Lynn, we appreciate all you do for us. And Christine Bradley is also heavily involved in that, and we appreciate your help. I'm going to put in a shameless plug for Aspen Grove Asset Management. We have made it possible to simultaneously broadcast this show on WAKM this year, and I'm hearing that that has been well received, and just appreciate WAKM's cooperation and help in making that happen, and making it available to some folks that actually can't be with us here in the audience. And to the Williamson Inc. staff, Nancy Conway, Griffin, and Griffin's last name is Wilcox. Wilcox. And drew a blank there for a minute, but Matt Margin and his staff do a great job, and we appreciate their help doing this. And Brian Eccles, who's the chairman of the, or has been for years, of the Chamber Advocacy Committee that kind of oversees what we do. Appreciate you letting us keep on. So thank you for being with us. Look forward to having you back in January, and hope you'll learn a lot from all this morning. Have a good day.